Hey, shalom, 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 Israel. All praise to the Most High. Welcome to another Warzone Wednesdays. Got some exciting stuff happening. This is your brother Mahar.
Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel. This is your brother Shapar.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. It's your brother Kazak.
Hey, Shalom, this is Brother Aniel.
Hey, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Yahshua ben YAHAWAH'S.
Salaki, you said there was no audio?
Con. In the
You
beginning,
didn't hear
man.
none of that?
Mm-mm.
Damn. I guess I gotta play it again.
Yeah, I ain't hear it neither. Well, I heard some of it.
Let me see. How about we try this? How about we do this instead? Salaki, give me one quick second. My bad. I didn't even know that. Thought y'all could hear it.
You ain't hate on your brothers and sisters.
Hear it now?
Hey, you don't know us. We out here teaching you love. We're out here teaching love. Give me 1 John 5 and 3. We're out here teaching the love of God. And that's the Bible. That's following the commandments. You see that? Why do you teach the enemy like that? Why do you teach the enemy like that?
Con.
I know y'all heard that one this time.
All praises, man. All praises, man. Shout out to my brother Kazak, man, for the intro, man. That was beautiful, man. So shalom, Israel. It's your brothers from Yahawah's camp. We back with another Warzone Wednesday. And we're going into some topics, man. We're going into brotherly love. We're going into the love of Israel, man. That's the lesson that the Most High put on my spirit about a month ago. I started meditating on this, and it's just been a lot going on in the nation. Been a lot going on around the world. You know, we've been covering world events here recently, and yeah, man, I just wanted to go into some love of Israel. That whole dynamic of being a nation, how it's supposed to treat one another. As a nation, we a lot of times, man, we short in how we're supposed to treat one another. Right?
Hey, so like you chopping up, King.
Oh, calm, hold on. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better now?
Like it sound like you far away. Like something wrong with your mic.
Oh, calm. Oh, no.
Yeah, that would hear you worse.
Hold on. Let me. This helps. You hear me better now?
Yeah, con.
Yeah, we can hear you clear now.
All right, kind of. It might have been my headphones, man. But yeah, man. So, like I said, this lesson, man, is basically going to be going into love, man, the love in our nation, man, how we supposed to treat one another. Um, like I said, man, the Most High, He put it on my spirit, man, to bring out a lesson dealing with the love in Israel, man. Because, like I said, we've been going over current events here recently. We've been going over things that's happened around the world. And like I said, about a month ago, I started working on this lesson, putting little stuff together. Just going into how we're supposed to treat one another and the things that our nation goes through, man. As a nation of people, man, right? So-called Hispanics, Native Americans, so-called blacks, we make up the children of Israel. And a lot of times, man, we fall short in how we're supposed to treat one another. So I've just been meditating on this. We know our people's dealing with curses, right? We know we've been split up as a nation. Our heritage has been took from us. We got a lot of tribulations that we go through as a nation. So, out here teaching, out here doing the work. One of the big things we focus on is trying to bring our people back and trying to teach our people how they need to deal with each other. For a long time, we've been taught self-hate, man. Right? We've been dealing with poverty, dealing with oppression, depression, all kind of transgressions that we're dealing with, iniquity. And we've been having these other nations rule over us. So going into that, man, a lot of times we look up to these other nations like they're greater than us, right? They have all the riches in the world. They have their own nation. They have their own countries. As Israelites, especially living in captivity in America, a lot of these things these other nations have, we don't have. So we're a lot of times, man, we're taught self-hate. I see it every day. Especially here recently, I've been real observant, watching our people. You heard in the intro, we were out there teaching a couple months ago, and we had some stuff going on where we were teaching and the sister didn't like what we were going into, and immediately it seemed like it was a little bit of strife and contention. And then when we said something, I could look on the brother's face and just tell when we made it apparent that he don't handle the other nations like this, he don't handle his enemy like this. I could tell the look on his face, his whole countenance changed, and he was like, "Wow, that dude's right." Like, you don't see our people making threats to the white man like we do with our own people, right? We're so quick, and society has taught us so much to harm our own people, in our music, the films we watch. A lot of times in the culture, we're taught to, lash out on one another and want to hurt one another. But rarely do we take that energy and put it towards our enemies. Like in the scriptures, Israel was commanded not to deal with these other nations. And our forefathers, a lot of them, they didn't deal with these other nations. But here today, living in captivity, we've been kind of brainwashed to love the other nations and hate ourselves. So that's why, in a nutshell, that's why I thought this lesson would be important for us to love ourselves, how we're supposed to deal with our nation, how we're supposed to deal with each other, and just have that brotherly love and that love for family and nationhood. So yeah, can we start out? Can somebody give me Romans 13:8? King Kazak, can you give me Romans 13:8? And Khan and brother Mahar, will you give me 1 John chapter 2 verse 8? And we're gonna kick it off, man. Go through a couple precepts. We got some visuals that we want to present, and we're just gonna meditate on this lesson. All praise to the Most High.
God, you want to bring it up?
Khan, Romans 13:8.
God, this is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 8. It says, "Owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law."
And yeah, man, that's kind of the spirit of this lesson, man, right? For us to love one another and meditate on the law, man, right? The law teaches us how to deal with each other, right? We got precepts when we deal with the commandments. We got precepts how to love one another, how to deal with each other. When we go into YAHAWAH'S ministry, right? When we go into the Messiah's ministry, he definitely gave us teaching and understanding of these laws and how to love one another. So that's one of the big lessons in this presentation, right? Can you read that again for me, King?
Gone. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 8. It says, owe no man anything but to love one another.
You see that? So you don't have to owe nobody nothing. We're not dealing with no debts, right? We don't want to be in debt with nobody, right? But we're taught to love one another. Keep reading.
For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
And you see that? That's the same thing Yahushua was teaching, right? Loving the Most High and loving one another, right? That covers the laws, right? Those two commandments, right? That's what the law stands on, right? We have to love one another and we have to love the Most High, man, right? Our people, man, they've been living in captivity for so long. We forget these things, man. We're so quick to lash out on one another and have that self-hate for one another, right? We don't remember to love one another. I see it every day. See it out there teaching, right? It's just a big thing in our nation, man. Coming back to this brotherhood and come back to love one another, right? Mahar, you got that 1 John chapter 2 for me?
Khan, you said chapter 2, verse 8, right?
Start at verse 8. I'm gonna have you read down to 11.
Okay, Khan.
Mm-hmm.
It says, the book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
It says, again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past and the true light now shineth.
Mm-hmm. Keep reading.
He that saith he is in the light and hateth his brother is in darkness even until now.
You see that? So that's kind of going into what we're talking about, man. Like, if you say that you're in the light, but you hate your brother, right? You living in darkness, man. You can't. We gotta get in this mind state of not hating one another. We gotta figure this thing out, right? And meditate on these precepts, right? You don't want to be living your life hating one another, right? Like I say, a lot of our culture, the music we used to listen to, the movies we used to watch, it teaches self-hate. It teaches you not to love one another. But we're going to meditate on this lesson and try to bring our brothers and sisters some understanding on love, right? Read verse 10 for me, King.
God. It says, he that loveth his brother abideth in the light,
Mm-hmm.
and there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
Right. Keep reading.
God. It says, but he that hateth his brother is in darkness and walketh in darkness.
You see that? You walking in darkness if you hate your brother, man, right? We gotta remember these things. We gotta meditate on these things, right? Plain and simple, man. We just gotta come back to loving one another. We gotta stop walking with that evil heart and that malice towards our brothers. You know what I mean? It's bad in our community. It plagues our nation. We teach this all the time, man. Like, you don't see these other nations hating one another the way you see so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Right? As I was doing some research for this lesson, I was meditating on just different videos, going over different videos, different things I wanted to present, and man, just it's bad around our nation, right? I was looking into the reservations, you know what I mean? How that kind of hates on the reservations, or people living on reservations. I was looking in like LA gang life, right, with some of the so-called Latino tribes. Like it's a real big issue, man, right? We focus too much of our energy on hurting one another, bringing each other down in our music, man. Like, especially if you was raised up in the 90s and the early 2000s, a lot of the music was just, I got more than you, you know, I want your woman, I'm gonna deal with your woman, or I'm gonna find a way to put my hands on you, try to hurt you, try to harm you in some other way. This is something, man, that our people are enthralled with. We got to get out of that mind state, man. salute to the brothers that are on the highways and byways teaching, man, teaching our people to come out of that. You know what I mean? To really start loving one another and to get out of that spirit of wanting to hate each other. If we actually reverse that and put that energy in towards our enemies and the people that had us in slavery in these other nations, I think we would see a big different impact on how our people handle each other. But that's not the easiest task. You go out there and you start teaching that kind of lesson. Once you start teaching our people to love one another and go up against their enemy, which are these other nations, now you get called a hate group. Now you get put on certain lists where you're banned for this and banned for that. They don't want you dealing in public forums. So
and Salakia, it's not even just a regular list. We're talking about a terrorist watch list.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Khan. I was just teaching that. I was just watching the elder teach that the minute we start talking about, joining together and loving our own people and going up against our enemies, now we're public enemy number one. Now we're on the terrorist list, the southern. What's that? That southern list that everybody talks about.
Poverty law.
Yeah, the Southern poverty law. Like, they hate it, man. They hate that, and you could really think about it when we go out and teach, right? When we go out and teach, we're on Glenwood or whatever. We're out there holding the Bible, right? Nonviolent, teaching our people to follow the commandments, literally teaching the Bible. A lot of times, what do you see happens, man? The police show up. They're across the street, right? They bring the fire trucks through a couple times. They hit the horn on us a couple times. These are brothers out there united in righteousness, teaching the Bible, right? That's how you can tell, man, that they don't want to see our people united as a people, right? They want to keep our people in a certain mind state to just be docile, be submissive, be like lost sheep. Because once they see our people gather themselves together and form as a unit and teach this word like this, they hate it, man. They know that there's too much strength in our people. They know that the abilities of our people, and one of the worst things for them is for our people to come together in unity and love and brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? So there's a reason why, man. There's forces and there's energy out there keeping our people from loving one another. It's not just, well, we can't figure it out, we just hate one another. You got to look on the other side too. There's people out here, nations out here, the government, right? These other nations, they're pushing for our people to not get into that spirit, right? Because once they do that, they know that that's their worst enemy, man. That's their worst nightmare for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to gather themselves together in unity, man, under Yahawah, under Christ, right? Because all the things that they push on us, they know that that's got to come back to them. But you can keep reading. Where did I have you at, King?
You had me at.
You read 10, right? Can you read 11?
I think actually I was at halfway through 10, but I'll start from the top if you like.
Come.
He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
Mm-hmm.
But he that hateth his brother is in darkness.
And that's what we're teaching now, man, right? We're in a dark state, man. You see nothing but darkness when we hate our brothers. You see murder, you see hard times, you see our people our people selling poison to one another, right? Our people are in the prison systems, right? Once you start hating your brother, you're dealing in darkness. Keep reading, King.
It says, but he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness had blinded his eyes.
And that's really what it is, man. Our people, they're blind by some of the stuff that society pushes on them. They're blinded by these curses. We can't figure out what's right. And a lot of times, man, when you're kind of living worldly, that's what it is, man. You're like, man, this music just sounds good to me. You know what I mean? This gang life. I was watching the video and the brother was like, he was asking the brother, he was like, why are you in this gang? Why do you do certain things? He was like, I don't know, man. It's just what's cool. It's what's cool in my neighborhood. This is the thing to do. So a lot of our people, man, like that last part says, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness has blinded his eyes. We don't really know why a lot of times why we do these things. This is just what's popular in our block. Right, we don't have leaders in our areas to guide us to that kind of spirit of loving one another. We just want to do whatever's cool. We just want to, hang out with the clique in our neighborhood. We just want to find a way to just fit in. And doing that, man, a lot of times it leads us to negative things. But coming back to this Bible, coming back to these scriptures, that's one way, man. The scriptures teach you how to love your brother. Scriptures teach you how to love your family, how to build up a nation, how to handle yourself as a nation. Law, statutes, commandments, man. It'll guide you on the right path for how to deal with your people. But can Brother Kazak, can you give me Zephaniah 2:1? Matter of fact, Ephraim, while he's pulling that, while he's pulling that, Ephraim, can you play that first video for us? That first one I sent you.
Gin and juice. No. Juice.
Yeah, con.
What's up? I ain't seen in a couple of days. What's been happening? Man, get off that shit. It's over. There ain't nothing nobody can do about it, man.
What do you want from me, man?
Nothing. Just came to see if you was alright. See how you been doing.
Well, I ain't talked to nobody, alright?
I know. Cool. Always will be. I just came to see what's up.
Let me tell you something, B. I'm only playing your fucking game because ain't shit else to do. But don't you ever pull a gun on me again in your life.
I hope I won't have to.
Yeah, we all go down if you do, because we all crew. Just try me if you think I'm bullshit.
Look at this. The brother finally decides to stand up like a man and throw down. Too bad Raheem had to die first, huh? It's over. Everything starts from now. We all go down unless we stay together. Ain't no one man above the crew. You know that shit.
Crazy, man.
You know what? When you said that last time, I was kind of tripping, right? But now, you're right. I am crazy. But you know what else? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about Steele. And I don't give a fuck about Raheem either. I don't give a fuck about myself. Look, I ain't shit. I ain't never gonna be shit. And you less of a man than me, so as soon as I decide that you ain't gonna be shit, so be it. You remember that, motherfucker.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
There's some powerful stuff in that.
Yeah, man. I mean, the 90s, man, like a lot of us growing up in the 90s, man, like it was wild, man. And even to this day, man, when you see the culture of some of our people today, man, like you seen what he said. He said, I don't care. I don't, what did he say? I don't care about myself. I don't care about
That's the part right there. That part.
Yeah, and that was the real point that I wanted to bring that out, man, because that kind of goes into what I was kind of meditating on and talking about before that. He said he don't care about himself. He don't care. And these are the dudes supposedly in the movie, like these are the dudes that he was raised up with. And I know this is a film, right? But we know a lot of times, man, that mirrors society today, right? Like he was saying, I don't care about myself. I don't care about the people around me. I don't care about the brothers I was raised up with. That's the kind of thinking that we got to get out of, man. That's the kind of thinking that a lot of times, man, being raised, that's what we were in, man, right? That total opposite of loving your brother, man. Total opposite of loving your nation, right? Just wilding out, right? You might be in a gang, right? You might be in some kind of clique. You might be out in the streets, running around, hustling, doing your thing. To have that kind of hate for one another, man, that's really bringing our people down, man. You know what I mean? That's the opposite of what we try to teach out here, man. Like having your brothers around you and positive, wise brothers around you, that's going to get you up out of that spirit, man. Like, and really, if you think about it, man, that's really why camps are a good thing, right? Camps are a great thing because, you know, even speaking for myself, man, like before I got with the camp, you know, I'm not going to say I was out there wilding out like that, but I didn't have that camaraderie. I didn't have that love and that appreciation for my brothers and sisters like I should. You know what I mean? I was kind of a loner, kind of doing my own thing. And I kind of like, you know, I was raised up, you know what I mean? You know, doing little crazy stuff. I'm sure, you know, everybody got little stuff that they was into. But when you get with a camp, right, you get with a congregation, right, brothers, they teach you stuff. You're dealing with wise brothers. They're teaching you how to follow the commandments. You see brothers moving in a certain spirit, right? I'm speaking for YAHAWAH'S camp. I can't speak for everybody, but you know, brothers don't try to bring that contention around. Brothers don't try to have no strife with one another, right? We up here building one another up, right? Brothers is greeting each other positively. You know what I mean? Brothers is building you up. If they see you with a certain talent or, you know, you trying to do certain things, brothers is quick to build you up, man. You know what I mean? Not you know, spew any kind of wickedness towards one another, right? You might be in a gang in the streets and brothers telling you, well, you got to go out and do this, or we're going to go rob this person, or we're going to go stick this person up, or do this and that. You know, this is why camps are actually a real good thing, because it teaches you positive lessons, right? We gathering ourselves together. We having new moons together, right? Brothers is chipping in on stuff. You got a good talent, right? You got elders giving you wisdom, right? You got brothers that are leading by good examples, right? So, you know, over here in YAHAWAH'S camp, man, you get a brotherly love feeling. That's one good thing about gathering yourself together and having these camps, man, because you're getting that brotherly love feeling, and brothers are sincere one another, not in the streets wilding out, getting in all kind of mischief and doing all kind of wild stuff. Kazak, can you read that Zephaniah 2:1 for me?
Hey, Salakia, real quick, my bad. Hey, Salakia on the language there, you know. Sometimes, you know, Israel can just be Israel.
Khan. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
It says, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. You
see that? Nation not desired, right? We're the only nation, man. We're the nation. We've been living in this country for so long. We've been brought over from different lands, right? Coming over for different lands, and the scripture says we're a nation not desired, right? It tells us to gather ourselves together more than ever. The sisters on it, right? So gathering ourselves together, man, more than ever, man. In my opinion, it's a time to gather ourselves together, man, right? You're seeing wars crack off, right? You're seeing countries divided with one another, right? The government's divided. You're seeing hearing all kind of rumors of war. You got just mayhem and all kind of madness going on in the so-called Middle East, right? You got Israel going to war, the fake Israel going to war with Gaza and the Palestinians. I feel like, man, now is more of an important time than ever to gather ourselves together, right? Really becoming a strong nation and gathering ourselves together in the Most High under Yahweh Shah. Yeah, World War III, man. Salakia, World War III is like right at our doorstep. You're seeing all these nations pick sides. I was at work today and I was listening to these Edomites talk, and the one Edomite was saying that he follows these groups on the internet, and he called them militia groups or militant groups. And he said if the government collapsed, they got all these groups like on the internet today that if something happens with the government, you got like the Proud Boys, you got all these groups out there gathering up ammo, gathering up guns, and getting ready to go to war, right? So now it's important for our people to start gathering themselves together, right? Becoming a strong nation, right? Figuring out who your brothers and sisters is, right? Figuring out who you're gonna stand with when this time comes, man. Right? These other nations, they're picking sides, they're picking who they're gonna gather up with, they're getting ready for war, right? It's time for us to do the same thing. You see that? The captain is posting a precept. You see that?
Want to pull that?
Yeah, Khan, read that. I think he posted it in the he posted it in the ISV, Deuteronomy 28:54.
Con. It says, even the compassionate man among you, the very sensitive one, will look with evil in his eyes toward his brother, his beloved wife, and his surviving sons whom he spared.
Khan, and I was meditating on that. As I was putting the lesson together, man. And he's right on the money, man. Just with that video that we seen, man. Right? How are we gonna gather ourselves together if we're always hating one another? How are we gonna gather ourselves together if we always had that evil eye towards one another? Right? We got to get out of that, man. We got to start loving one another. You see that? Kazak, can you read Zephaniah 2 and 3 for me?
Khan. This is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
It says, seek ye the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
You see that? And that's what we out here teaching our people, man. Seek righteousness, right? Seek brotherly love. Seek coming back to your people, right? Get back into these commandments, man, right? Follow, and get back to your nationality, right? As Israelites, right? You may be hid in the day of the Lord's anger, right? Because we know, man, the day of the Lord, man, it's going to come. It may not come today. It may not come tomorrow, but the Lord's going to bring judgment on this place, man, right? And we got to pick and figure out what side we're going to be on, man. Are we going to be on the Lord's side? Are we going to be in the sides of the 2/3, right? Are we going to be in righteousness? Or are we going to be in wickedness, right? We're commanded, man, to love each other as a nation, right? That's what we're going to go into a little later. But, you know, you go back into the law, Leviticus 19, right? It teaches you how to deal with your brothers and sisters, man. It teaches you how to be sincere and how to deal in righteousness with your brothers and sisters. Read 4 for me, King.
Khan, this is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
For Gaza shall be forsaken.
Right. Isn't that Salaki? Isn't that what's happening now? Right? Isn't Gaza getting tore up? You see that? Keep reading.
Right. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation.
Right, and these are going into cities. These are going into Philistine cities, right? Keep reading.
They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up.
You see that? These are like prophecies, man, right? These are prophecies the Most High brought out against these lands, man, against these Philistines, right? The Palestinians, people that occupy that land. You're seeing it happen today, man, right? Literally, like we were teaching, the priest was going into the other day, man, you're literally seeing prophecy unfold in front of your eyes. Keep reading, King.
Khan, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast, the nation of the Cherethites. The word of the Lord is against you. O Canaan, the land of the Philistines, I will even destroy thee, that there shall be no inhabitant.
Right, and that's it on that, man. I just wanted to go down on that chapter a little bit, man, because, you know, we read Zephaniah 2 and 1 a lot, man, but you're literally seeing those prophecies in Zephaniah unfold, man, right? This is even gives us more reason, man, to gather ourselves together, right? You're seeing Gaza being destroyed, right? You're seeing nation rise up against nation, right? You're seeing all these prophecies unfold, man, right? We got to really choose and pick, man, what side we're going to be on, man. Are we going to be on the Lord's side? Or are we going to be on wickedness, man, right? Because this stuff, you got World War III getting ready to crack off, man, right? How long until this stuff comes to your doorstep? How long until America starts going through stuff like this, right? You got Iran, Syria, Lebanon talking about jumping into war, you know, sending out threats, right? You got Russia backing these people. I'm telling you, man, like that Zephaniah 2 and 1 is deeper. We bring it out all the time, but it's deep, man, because we're gonna have to pick and choose who we're gonna be with. Are you want to be on the side of the Lord's army, right? In that day, when that day comes, or you want to be, by yourself, kind of trying to figure this thing out, man, right? All this goes into brotherly love, man, right? We gotta rise up for the Lord, man. We gotta be on the side of the Lord and be part of the Lord's army, man, right? We gotta come up against these other nations, man. You see that? We gotta
Hey,
be
Salakia, can I grab a precept really quick?
calm.
Khan, it's pretty much saying the same thing in Genesis 49:1.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father."
Khan, all praise to the Most High, man. Right, and like I say, man, that's part of brotherly love. That's part of loving your nation, man. Salakia, gather yourself together in these last days. Be on the side of Israel, man. Right, especially if you know you're an Israelite, right? You're questioning, man. Should I join up with brothers? Should I, join up with a camp, man? Right? You see war cracking off, man. Right? You see the Lord gathering His people together, and you seeing more than ever, man. You seeing brothers knowing that they're Israelites out here. So now the time is to gather yourself together, man. Love one another, love your brothers and sisters, man. Right? Be on the side of Israel, be on the side of the Most High, man. The real Israelites, right? You're seeing all kind of lands and all kind of nations go up against one another, right? You got to question this stuff, man, and say, where do I fit in all this, man, right? So more than ever, man, we got to gather ourselves together, start loving one another, man, get that evil eye away from our brothers and sisters, man, and really get ready to go at these other nations, man. You know what I mean? Because war's going to crack off, man. You know what I mean? And we gotta be prepared and be ready for this, man. Can somebody give me Kazak? Can you give me Psalms chapter 34, verse 11? We're gonna read down on that a little bit. And Ephraim, Mahar, if you don't mind, man, can you give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 10?
Got you, Ken.
Calm. Yeah, you can read that, Kazak, whenever you're ready.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
"Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of Yahawah."
Right, and that's what we out here doing, man. Right, the fear of the Lord, man, keeping these commandments. We're teaching our people, man, to come hearken to the word of God, man. That's what our mission is. That's what we've been commissioned to do. Keep reading.
God, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
"What man is he that desireth life and loveth many days, that he may see good?"
And that's what it is, man. That's what we're trying to teach our people, man. Right, so things can go well for us, right? So we can get the kingdom, right? We gotta gather ourselves together. Keep reading, 11.
God, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
"Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile."
Right, and that's one of the points I was pulling this for, man. We got to stop putting the mouth on one another, man. Right, we got to keep that evil tongue away from one another, man. Right,
God.
That's one of the big things that plagues our nation, man. Right, our tongue can be like a sword, man, just cutting one another up. Right, you start getting that contentious heart. Right, you start getting the evil spirit on you. First thing you want to do is start cutting brothers up, cutting your brothers and sisters up. Right, you want to talk down on your brother. Right, we got to start learning to uplift our brothers, man. Right, come with a more positive nature, man. Stop trying to be so quick to speak guile towards our brothers and sisters, man. You see that? Keep reading, King.
God, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
"Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it."
Right, and that's what we're teaching our people, man. Right, part of loving one another, part of loving each other as a nation, man. We got to depart from this evil, man. Right, we got to have peace with one another. Right, these are all foundational steps, man, to building up nations, man. These are all simple lessons for us to build ourselves up as a nation, as a strong nation. You see that? And Salakia, just on a side note, man, like if you go into 1 Peter chapter 3, man, he was quoting the same chapter. He was quoting this in 1 Peter chapter 3. He was going into the Psalms. Keep reading, King. I'm gonna have you read down to 22.
Come. Verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
The eyes of Yahweh are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry.
You see that? The Lord's dealing with the righteousness, man, right? The Lord's going to hear you if you're in that righteous spirit, right? That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're striving for. You see that? Hold what you got. Hey, Mahar, can you bring out that Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 10? Bible Kashar.
Let me pull it out right now. 1 verse 10.
Calm.
For the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid.
You see that? Our brothers and sisters, man, right? Like, we're out here teaching our people, right? These jewels and this understanding. We out here for our nation of people. We're not out here trying to teach everybody. So these precepts that we're going into, right? We're just trying to uplift and give our people understanding. It says, for the ears of jealousy hears all things, right? And everybody knows that feeling. You start getting contentious a little bit. Your ears start perking up, right? You start wanting to hear every little thing, and anything that's being said starts to bother you. You see that? We got to kind of get out of that spirit, man. We got to stop having that jealous spirit towards one another, right? That hateful spirit to one another. You see that? It says the noise of murmuring is not hid. Like, you start getting into that spirit of strife with each other, man. You always want to hear what's going on. You always want to hear what somebody's saying into you, right? What has this person got to say about me? What's that person? We just got to dead all that, right? That's not going to be positive, and that's not going to be beneficial to our nation, man, right? Want to always have strife and contention with one another. Read chapter 11, beloved.
You said chapter 11?
Oh, Salakia, verse 11.
Oh, okay. Therefore, beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable.
You see that? Just backbiting and talking behind each other's back. You know what I mean? Whispering and trying to badmouth each other, man. That, like the scripture says, that's unprofitable, man. We got to get out of that spirit. Start loving one another. You see that? Keep reading.
Which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting.
You see that? And that's one thing that hurts our people, man, right? Before you know it, you're backbiting, you're talking about one another. They don't do nothing but bring strife and contention to each other, man, right? We out here to uplift each other up, man, right? We out here to bring our brothers into this in righteousness, man, right? Not always trying to slay each other with our tongue. Keep going.
It said, thou shalt go for naught, Salakia, and refrain your tongue from backbiting, for there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that belieth slayeth the soul.
Yeah, man. That's one thing that hurts our people, man, right? The whole nation, man. We gotta get back to loving each other and stop being so quick to try to pull each other down. Like I said, man, your tongue, it can be a sword, man, right? You can start chopping each other up and be really hurtful. You don't know what your brothers and sisters is dealing with, man, right? Brother could be dealing with a depression spirit. Brother could be all in his head, worried about this, worried about that. And we go to putting a bad mouth on them or pulling them down with our mouth. Yeah, man, the scriptures goes against that, man. You know what I mean? As a nation of people, we got to be quick to uplift each other, right? Try to bring each other up, man, right? Like the brothers says all the time, man. Find something positive to say to your brothers and sisters, right? Try to uplift the spirit to your brothers, right? Brother might come around, brother might come to camp. He got that long face. He shalom you, and he, what's up, what's his popping. But when your brothers and sisters is down, when a brother needs a couple words of encouragement or a few wise words, man. So we got to get in that spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? That's one good thing. And like I said, I can't speak for all camps, but that's one great thing about YAHAWAH'S camp. Brothers is quick to lift one another up. Brothers is quick to encourage one another, man. You know what I mean? Brother, you want to talk to him, chop it up with a brother, give a brother good advice. You know what I mean? Hey, man, how's your family doing? You know what I mean? How's everything going? How's the job? You know what I mean? Everything. We got to be in that kind of spirit. Zach, can we go back to that Psalms 34?
Gone. Psalms 34, verse 16. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles.
Right.
The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit.
Calm. So the like I say, man, the Lord's merciful, man. Right. The Lord's merciful to us. Right. It says, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. That contrite spirit is like a repentive spirit, right? A brother that's remorseful. Right. The Lord hears it, man. The Lord, you got the angels taking your prayers to the Most High, man. Right. You got angels according to the book of Tobit. Right. You got angels, right, that take your prayers, right, the prayers of the saints to the Lord, man. So the Lord knows what kind of spirit you're in. He knows, if you're trying to repent. He knows what you're dealing with, man. Right. So this is what our brothers and sisters got to get into, man. Get into that righteousness, right? Get into that repentant type spirit, man. Right. Keep reading, beloved.
Khan. And Salaki, you might think like, oh, that brother's weird. Nah, he might just be dealing with some weird stress. You know what I mean? But yeah, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all.
You see that, and that says that was a deep precept. Many are the affliction of the righteous, right? Look at King David, man. Look at everything he went through. Family all broken up, right? Living in dealing with adultery, right? Taking the brother's wife. You see that? It says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord deliver him out of all them, right? Yeah, that's like King David to a T, man. Even after all that he went through, right? The Lord still held him as like the standard of all the other kings that came after him, man. You see that? So we gotta get into this righteous spirit, man. We gotta start learning how to deal with each other on that kind of level as far as a nation, man. Right? Like the brother said, man, you don't know what a brother's dealing with. You might say, oh man, this cat's acting kind of strange. He's weird. Brothers might be dealing with something, man. You know what I mean? A couple wise words, man, they can go far when brothers dealing with something. When brother got a heavy burden on them. You see that? But we can drop that, King. Kazak, can you give me Sirach chapter 3, verse 23?
Hey, Salaki King, do you got Psalm 52 in there?
Nah, bring it out.
Is the book of Psalm, chapter 52 and verse 2. It says, thy tongue deceiveth mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. And like the brother was saying, right? Your tongue can either produce good or your tongue can produce evil. In this instance, it's talking about when it's doing evil, right? Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. Right? Our tongue is very, very deceitful, especially when we're not following the Most High. Right? People can, think that telling a white lie is something insignificant. But when you tell enough of those white lies, you start losing credibility. Right? I'm sure we all have those family members that, tell these white lies, and start, it works on that trust that you have for that person, right? You stop trusting that person the same way that you used to, because it's like, if you're lying about something so small as this, what are you not telling me, right? That's all I had.
That was beautiful, man. That was a beautiful precept, right on the money, man. That was beautiful, man. It had me thinking about some stuff we were dealing with a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, whatever. Like if you see brothers out there and they're out there doing the work, and brothers is trying to move righteously, and you just constantly putting your tongue on them, right? If you're looking at a brother and you trying to find something wrong with a brother, right? You see brothers out there doing the work, trying to teach the lost sheep, and you constantly just want to go against them. right? You want to bring up things that is going to cause strife and division. You got to question yourself, man, and ask, like, what spirit am I in right now? Like, these are other brothers out there doing the work, and all I want to do is put the bad mouth on them. All I want to do is watch y'all's videos and just pick apart little things I can tear up about y'all's videos, right? Little things I can critique, right? This brother got the wrong color on, or this brother's out there doing this, doing that. Brothers is out doing the work, man, right? We so quick to find a negative in something. How about finding the positive in something, right? How about uplifting your brothers up, right? Leaving a righteous comment on the brother. Hey, y'all brothers out there doing the work. That's beautiful. All praise to the Most High. I was listening to an elder talk the other day from a different congregation. And, you know, we're not out here to try to, you know, point no fingers or beat up on nobody. But he basically was saying, you know, all Israelites aren't meant to be all together because we all learn different things and we all teach different things. And, you know, that brother teaches this or that brother acts like this. And we teach this and we do that. But I'm thinking, like, we're supposed to be a nation of people, right? We're supposed to be a nation of kings and priests, right? Is that really the spirit we're supposed to be in? Aren't we supposed to come together and kind of just try to figure this thing out? Like, brothers say it all the time, man. We letting doctrines and beliefs kind of being a device of division. Is that what we really need to be doing? You know what I mean? You don't see these other nations dealing with this stuff the way we deal with it. You know what I mean? They'll come together, even if they don't see eye to eye on certain things, they'll come together in some kind of unity, even if they don't see eye to eye on everything, right? I'm not going to see eye to eye with everything, with everybody, right? Because I'm me. You might be you. You might look at stuff different. I might be looking at something that we're two different people, but we can still agree to come together in unity. You see what I'm saying? That's something we got to do, man. We got to stop, you know, putting a bad mouth on each other. You know what I mean? Our tongue, our words, you know what I mean? They can be so swift to cut instead of building each other up. You got something, Yashwan?
All praises. Yeah, that's powerful what you was going into, you know, about you know, the different camps, you know, like you was talking about that video you was watching, you know, talking about how we all can't get together because, you know, brothers believe in different doctrines and, you know, all that type of stuff. But no, that was powerful. I just wanted to bring this out real quick because I think it, you know, go along to what you was bringing out.
Cool.
But this the book of 1 John chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 18. It says, "There is no fear in love, right? But perfect love casteth out fear." So when you have true love for your brother, all that fear go away, right? If you really have true love for your nation and your brother, it ain't gonna matter, you know, what type of doctrine you believe in. You know, he believe in one thing, I believe in something else, so we can't come together, right? That's not that, you know, that's not true love, right? It says, "Because fear have torment, he that feareth is not made perfect in love. We love him because he loved Salaki, because he first loved us." And I wanted to touch on this too. Like you was talking about the brothers, you know, that all they do is bash other camps, right? Or they always bashing another brother, right? Like you said, they always picking out something, you know, oh, this brother doing this, or I don't like the way he do this, or they always got something bad to say. They ain't got, you know, nothing positive to say about their own brother. So this verse 20, it says, "If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar." So the Lord said you a liar, right? If you hate your brother, and that's hate. If you always got something bad to say about your brother, and like you said, brothers out here doing the work, but you always got something to, you know, to pick and choose with that you don't like. Hey, that's hate. You got hate for that brother, right? You can't say nothing positive about him, but you always got something negative to say. And you got brothers out there that do that. Every video they make, it ain't even about edification. Every video they make is about another brother or another camp, right? Oh, let me show you what such and such did in this camp. Yeah, this nigga wicked, right? Or let me show you about what this camp did, right? And they rebuke you, or so-called rebuke you on stuff that's not even breaking the commandments. right? You didn't break not one commandment, you didn't break not one law, but they gonna make a whole hour video about something that they don't like about you, right? That's not true love, right? So let me read that again. It says, if a man say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he have seen, how can he love God whom he have not seen? Right? So how you go love the Lord, but you don't even love your brother that you see every day, right? You always got something bad to say about your own brother, right? Because he don't believe in the same doctrine, right? Or you don't like the way, they bring it out, so now you got something to say, right? You always picking and choosing. And I'm gonna finish it off, verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also. Right. So like the brother was bringing out, we gotta, exhort one another to be better. Right. If you don't like the way a brother doing something, you could go up to that brother and have a conversation with him and lift the brother's spirits up, right? But it seemed like, a lot of brothers just like tearing people down, right? And like the brother said, that's not true love. Because the Most High, he can do the same thing to us, right? He can be like, oh, you want to pick and choose and always got something bad to say about your brother. Well, he can do the same thing to you when it come to judgment. Yeah, I don't like the way you do this and that, right? I don't like the way you do this, right? And now the Most High, all that rebuking you got on your brother, he gonna do the same thing to you, right? You always got some negative to say about your own brother. The Most High could do the same thing to us, right? Hey, so you better show that grace and mercy, right? You better have that love for your brother, because the Most High, he ain't got to have love for you, right? He ain't got to have grace on us, right? He ain't got to show mercy to us, right? But that was all I had on that, King.
No, that was beautiful, man. That was right on topic of what we're going into, and that was a beautiful breakdown, beautiful understanding. It makes me wonder, man. It's like, like I said earlier, man. What spirit are you moving in, man? Right? If all you want to do, if everything that gets put out or everything that comes out is some kind of contention or strife or some kind of bad will, right? Like, are we even reading the red letters? Right? Are we walking in the spirit of the Messiah? Right? Wasn't he given to us as an example of how to move? Right? Didn't the scripture says he moved with no guile? Right? What are brothers reading, man? What spirit are we walking in? You know what I'm saying? Like, is everything positive and everything? I mean, everything negative, and then there's no positivity with this, right? Is this the self-hate that we were taught? Or is this the self-hate that we were talking about? You know what I mean? We got to really question ourselves, man, and ask ourselves what spirit we're moving in these days, beloved. You know what I mean? We're a nation of people where everywhere we go, every nation hates on us, right? Every nation looks at us, tries to figure us out, and has nothing but bad to say about us. So then we're going to go around and then hate one another also. It's all odds against us, man. We can't win like that.
So lucky, right? And I got something else too to go along with that. That's powerful what the brother bringing out, because to tell you the truth, a lot of brothers that's even in the truth, they still got the spirit they had when they was in the world, right? That's why you see in Israel, it's a lot of debates and strife and contention. Like I said, you got brothers calling other brothers out their names and being disrespectful to brothers. Hey, that's that same spirit you had back in the world. A lot of brothers still got hate in their heart for their own brother. They got an evil eye towards their own brother, even in the truth, right? So let me bring this out real quick. I mean, but like I said, that's the way that we was brought up, right? Even going back to that that scene you showed in Juice, right? Hey, that's how a lot of us grew up, right? Let me bring this out. This First Corinthians 15 and verse 33. It says, "Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners," right? And all of us growing up, all we heard was evil communications, right? And that's why it's powerful, the brother bringing out, this lesson about, how to love your brother, because, hey, when we was growing up, ain't nobody teach us how to love our brother or how to love each other, right? Ain't nobody teach us that in the neighborhood. And we was taught that the so-called black man and the Hispanic man that look just like you is your enemy, right? Yeah, don't trust that nigga. He's shady, right? Don't trust these niggas out here, right? Right? You walk past a brother and hey, in our neighborhoods, it ain't the same as these other nations, right? You don't walk past a brother say, "Hey brother, how you doing?" And you walk past a brother, you mean mugging, right? And what hood you from, what set you from, right? So we wasn't taught to love one another, right? We grew up listening to the rap music. All they rapping about is murdering and killing and gang banging, right? Selling drugs to each other, right? Beating on your woman, right? Not taking care of your children, right? We're not taught to love one another, right? So even a lot of brothers in this truth, you see, a lot of strife and contention and debates and all that. That's the same spirit going back to the world, right? Brothers trying to compete with one another like this a damn competition, right? And that's the same thing, right? But verse 34, it says, awake to righteousness and sin not, right? Because like the brother said, now you got brothers going off. Low key, you got brothers going off. You got brothers that slandering brothers every video they make, right? They slandering brothers, bearing false witness, saying things about the brothers that's not even true, right? Never met this brother a day in their life, but they got all these bad things to say about a brother, right? Just think about it. How much hate you got in your heart for your own people. You making a video about a brother you never even met in person. You don't even personally know this person, right? But you got all these bad things to say about him, right? It says, for some have not the knowledge of God. So that's even worse if you have this knowledge and you still hating on your own brother, right? That's bad. And I can see if you didn't have this knowledge and you were still in the world, right? But when you come into this truth, right, we got to put, away all the strife and contention and all the debates and trying to compete with one another, right? We supposed to be gathering together, right? It says, I speak this to your shame. And so the Lord speaking this to a lot of our people shame. You should be ashamed of yourself, right? If you even in this truth and you still got hate for your own brother, and all you do is debate and you always arguing with somebody, right? You always got something bad to say about another brother that's out here doing the work, right? You should be ashamed of yourself, right? But that was all I had on that.
And that was beautiful, man. That was great understanding, man. Beautiful breakdown. Right on topic with the lesson, man. Yeah, like, and that's strong, man. Because like one point the brother was just bringing out, we supposed to have good understanding, right? We out here keeping the commandments, right? We supposed to have good understanding. And look, man, everybody can be tempting, right? And if you feel that spirit, because hey, even I deal with it too. Don't get me wrong, right? You get that spirit, right? That temptation comes on you, right? You start getting those ideas and those thoughts like, man, this ain't right, that ain't right. Being in this truth and having this understanding, you're supposed to kind of check yourself and be like, whoa, wait a minute. You know what I mean? I'm being led down the wrong path here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having to fight these spirits and these temptations. Like, wait a minute, I shouldn't be thinking like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to kind of use some understanding and some discernment, man. You know what I mean? When you start getting that spirit of strife and contention or hate towards your brother, you gotta kind of think about yourself and use some knowledge and wisdom and kind of check yourself and be like, whoa, wait a minute. Am I moving in the right spirit here? Like, what am I really doing here? You know what I'm saying? Take a minute, stop what you're doing, clear your brain. You know what I'm saying? And just check yourself and be like, wait a minute, that's not the right spirit, man. I'm moving in the Salakia. I'm moving in the spirit of contention. So this is a hard path. It's not simple. You know what I mean? You dealing with all these spirits, these temptations, and you got the world. You got the curses up against you. You just had to move with wisdom, man, and be like, whoa, Let me check myself. You got something?
So yeah, I got a precept, King.
Bring it out.
All right, Khan. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or book of Sirach, chapter 28, verse 7. It says to remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and wink at ignorance. So just like you're saying, there's a battle, like I said, between or of our flesh. And in those times, we have to remember the instruction that's been given to keep us straight on that straight and narrow. It says to remember commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and weak at ignorance. So again, we are operating, or we are to operate on a level that is higher than just the flesh. We are to align ourselves with the commandments, which brings us closer to the Most High, which gets us on a much higher level of operating, so that we are able to have that grace for one another when we offend one another.
Calm. That was beautiful, man. Beautiful precept, beautiful knowledge and understanding and wisdom in that, man. The brother's right, man. He was right on the money with it. Yeah, man, we got to check ourselves sometimes, man. You being in this truth and having this understanding and knowledge, like the brother was bringing out in Corinthians, I could understand it if you don't have this knowledge and understanding, and you know what I mean, we're still kind of living worldly, but you know, to know and to still kind of be moving like that, sometimes, man, we just have to take a minute, check ourselves, and be like, wait a minute. This is Satan. This is the deceiver, man. I shouldn't be moving in this kind of spirit. I shouldn't be, holding this kind of malice towards my brothers and sisters like this. And hey, we're all of the flesh, right? So you're gonna be tested and getting tempted like this. But you just have to take some time, use that knowledge and wisdom, understanding, follow these commandments and this faith, and just check yourself every once in a while. That's all.
Hey, Salakia, King. Hey, do you have Matthew 18?
Khan, I was gonna go into that later on, but if you got it, man, bring it out. Bring it out, man. Bring out what you got.
Oh, okay. This is Matthew 18:15.
Bring it out.
It says, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault. So basically, does he know that he trespassed, or does everybody else know? Did you go and tell everybody first before you let that brother know? Or did you go to that brother first and let him know his trespass? It says, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican. So basically, just kind of going into what you were saying, that brotherly love spirit versus that spirit of contention and that spirit of the world, man. Like, in this truth, learning these commandments like Aniel was bringing out, we got to remember the commandments, and the commandment is to love your brother. And it says here, you got to go to your brother if he offends you. Let him know. That's it. I yield on that.
All praise to the Most High, man. Hey, the Messiah broke these commandments down, man. Right? He was an example. According to the book of Peter, man, he taught you and gave you understanding, and he was the wisest teacher, man. He was able to break this thing down so simple, man. If your brother has transgressed you, or you feel like he's transgressed you, before you make it a public issue, man, go over there and deal with him, man. Before you get all built up in the spirit and do something that's uncalled for, just go over there and handle it with him, man. Humble yourself down, right? Humble yourself down. Deal with your brother on a simple level. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things can be mediated before we take it and make it into a public thing. You know what I'm saying? We have to meditate on these red letters, man, right? Because the Messiah was perfect, man. He give you an example, and he taught you how to deal with your brothers and sisters, man. But that was a beautiful precept, man. All praise to the Most High, man.
Hey, Salaki, you got Matthew 5 in there?
Con, bring it out, man. Bring it out.
It says, and this is one of Christians' favorite verses to try to use, but again, they don't understand what's going on. It says, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 43. It says, ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. Now look at this. Where was it said at? Right. Let's go to real quick. We'll go to Leviticus 19:17. It says, "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him." Right. So going back to the precept, it says, "Thou shalt love." It says, "Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy." Who is this talking about? Right? This is talking about the neighbor of your people and the enemy of your people. Right? It says, "But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you." Now, I want to throw a curveball into this because it says right here, pray for them, right? Now, who are we praying for? And just to confirm it, we're going to jump over to John 17:9, right? And it says, this is Christ again. It says, "I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. And all are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them." Who is this them that it's talking about? Right? This them is talking about the children of Israel, right? The ones that Christ came for. If you go back to Matthew 15:24, right? Christ ain't worried about the entire world. In fact, he's coming to bring destruction to this world pretty soon if you're paying attention to the times. But he is only dealing with the children of Israel and none else. So when you go back to that Matthew 5:43, when he's talking about thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. I mean, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, and do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. It's talking about your people, right? It's not talking about nobody else. But that's all I got.
All praise to the Most High, man. I was going to bring that out later on, but the Spirit, man, is leading brothers to bring out precepts, and that's a beautiful thing, man. You see that brothers is meditating on this lesson, and it's bringing it out, man. The Spirit's moving, yeah, man. The Messiah taught you, man, plain and simple. That whole Matthew 18, man, it teaches you how to deal with your brother, man, how to handle your brother in righteousness. You see that? So the Messiah was a great example, man. Right, brothers bringing out some mighty precepts, man. All praise to the Most High, man. Yeah, man. Like I say, the spirit of this lesson, man, is just how to move with our nation, man. How to love each other, man. Right, how to meditate on these precepts and how to keep this faith, man, and this understanding, this faith of the Messiah, man. He was given to us as an example of how to deal with our brothers and sisters, man. And that's what we're out here doing. That's the spirit that we're trying to push, right? We're trying to just walk in the way of the Messiah, man, and just get some understanding with these precepts. Can somebody give me Kazak, can you give me Proverbs 15:1? And we're gonna keep moving, man, in the spirit, man. Cause that's beautiful, man. Yeah, man, we just teaching our people, man, how to move, how to deal with each other, right? How to move in this scriptures. Mahar, man, while he's pulling that, can you give me Leviticus? Go back to that Leviticus 19, and I think I want 18. So, all praise to the Most High, man.
Con, you want that Proverbs?
Con, bring it out.
Con, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
You see that? And this chapter, man, is just teaching you how to kind of respond, man, how to have that understanding and deal with your brothers. It says a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger, man. We ain't always gotta be contentious with each other. And you see that, man, like I said, dealing with the world, man, you're dealing with all these spirits out in the world, your flesh is pulling up against you, da da da. But one thing I can say about the brothers that's around me, man, like we never try to come at each other with a contentious spirit, right? Brothers will be greet each other in a holy way, man, right? If brothers is talking, just chopping it up, brothers are give each other a positive answer, man, right? We ain't trying to stir up no wrath, right? We ain't trying to stir up no anger in one another. We trying to move in a sincere manner. You see what I'm saying?
Khan, that's that holy kiss. Salakia.
Yeah. Calm. In the ancient world, man, we used to greet each other in a holy way. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we got to get back to, man. You know what I mean? Stop trying to cut each other at every chance we get, man. Right? Stop trying to be contentious with each other and walk in that spirit of contention with each other and strife. Right? It's too much. We got too much against us, Israel, to be moving like that. You know what I mean? You start dealing with your brothers and sisters like that, you know what I mean? You don't want to move in that spirit of contention and strife. Things start getting all weird. You know what I mean? You don't want to talk with each other. You don't know how to be around each other. It says it, man. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Yeah, man. It's just all in how to just knowing what to say to each other, how to deal with each other, man. Right? We all men, right? We all sisters out here. We ain't gotta be so have so much strife with each other. It's all positive communication, man. We trying to deal with each other in a righteous way. You know what I'm saying? Can you drop down to 28, King Kazak?
God. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
The heart of the righteous studieth to answer,
Mm-hmm.
but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things.
And you see that the heart of the righteous studieth to answer. You reading precepts, right? You meditating on these precepts all day. You're gonna know how to deal with your brothers and sisters. You're gonna know how to move and how to answer, right? How to try to walk on that righteous path, man. Not just like the scripture says, poureth out evil things, man. Wicked poureth out evil things out your mouth, man. Right? We're trying to operate in the commandments. Not trying to cut one another all the time, not trying to, downplay one another. This ain't no competition. You know what I'm saying? This is brotherly love spirit. You know what I'm saying? This is the spirit of that Zephaniah 2:1, that Genesis 49:1, right? We trying to gather ourselves together in righteousness, man. We got to learn how to just deal with each other, how to respond to one another. You know what I mean? What spirit we're moving in, man, right? The Messiah was a perfect example for that. Mahar, can you bring up that Leviticus 19:18, Bible Kasha?
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 18. It says, "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahawah."
You see that? It's commandments, man, right? 16 tells us not to be talebearers, right? 17 tells us not to hate our brothers and sisters, right? And if we have to, man, to rebuke your brother in a way, man. Don't let your brother go off, right? You see your brother doing wrong, right? You better off, man. What's the proverb say? Open rebuke is better than secret love, man. Right? You see your brother going off. You're not supposed to be quick to hate him. Just go over there and tell him, like, look, bro, I think maybe we should move like this. I've seen brothers myself. You know what I'm saying? Brother do certain things. Things might be off a little bit. Brother step up and be like, yo, I think we should handle like this. I think we should move like that. You know what I mean? A soft answer, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't want to stir wrath up by just trying to cut a brother, even when he know he might be wrong. You know what I mean? You're gonna add a little fuel to the fire and be like, damn, brother, why you do this? Why you do that? You gotta learn how to rebuke, but do it in a wise way. You see that? And then, like I say, 18, man, goes into holding grudges, right? nor bear any grudge against your people, man. And that's something our people deal with, man, right? You know, this was said, that was said. You got a family member that you grew up with all your life, and you know what I mean. You all have had words with each other, so it's so easy to, you know what I mean. A lot of times, man, there's a lot of hurt and pain with family. So it's like, man, this cat said this to me. You know what I mean? She said that to me. We still can't hold no grudge against each other, beloved. We got to learn how to get over these obstacles and kind of pull ourselves away from that, man. We gotta, like the brother Aniel was talking, we got to start moving in the spirit and not thinking so fleshly all the time. You know what I'm saying? Kind of put that righteousness first, man. That's what this is what these commandments were given to us for, right? Leviticus 19, the chapter's a perfect chapter to meditate on. Matthew 18, that's a perfect chapter to meditate on. How to deal with our people in righteousness, right? These commandments, man, are bring us back to being a strong nation. You see what that? When we were following these commandments and Israel was unified, we were a strong nation. When we had all 12 tribes unified under these commandments, under a righteous king, it was beautiful, man. What's the scripture say in Proverbs? Proverbs says, you know, when the righteous are in power, man, the people rejoice, man. But when the wicked are in power, the people mourn. This is the spirit we got to move in. You know what I mean? We want to move in a righteous, loving spirit with one another. Know when to rebuke and know when not to. You know what I'm saying? Know how to rebuke one another and know when not to. Know how to deal with each other, man. This is a journey and a path that we gotta figure out. You know what I mean? Especially in these later times, man. You got war coming, right? You got all kind of madness going on in the earth, right? You got all kind of sin and iniquity. We kind of got to learn how to flow with each other, man. Right? Moving in that spirit of the Messiah, man. Right? Keeping that faith and meditate on these precepts, these commandments. Can somebody give me Kazak? Do I got you holding something, King?
Khan, was it Sirach 3:23?
Khan, drop that. Will you give me Matthew 18 and 21? And Mahar, will you give me Matthew 16 and 12? Salakia, Matthew 6 and 12, and give it to me in the NLT. I'm gonna have Kazak bring out what he got first. If you can, Mahar, give me that Matthew 6 and 12 in the NLT.
Let's get it.
All praises.
Let's see. NLT.
Khan, I'm gonna have Kazak bring out what he got first, though.
Okay, Khan.
Yeah, that Matthew 18 and 21.
Khan, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
Keep reading.
Yahawah saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. And
Khan, that I was just meditating on that, man, about holding that grudge against one another. You know what I mean? We know, man, if it goes that far with somebody, you know what I mean, it's gonna be hard to, move in that kind of spirit, man. But we gotta learn how to, keep these grudges away from each other, man, right? How many times have we transgressed and the Lord has forgiven us? Right? That's something Yahshua was talking about earlier, right? The Lord's got that grace and that mercy, right? And we slip up, right? We have little mishaps, right? Things happen, whatever. And the Lord, he's long suffering, right? He's gracious, right? He's merciful to us. That's what the Messiah was going into, man. Having some mercy and not holding that grudge against your people, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to have that compassionate, mercy heart. You know what I mean? Try not to hold those grudges against our people, man. Right? Our people are dealing with a lot of afflictions, right? Our people are dealing with a lot of iniquity. Like we say all the time, we got all the odds against us. So we gotta just learn how to deal with our people, man. You see that? We gotta learn how to keep that contention away from us and not hold a grudge against our people, man. Right? Because people can repent, right? The Lord can put a different spirit on people, and before you know it, you know what I'm saying? A brother come back into this thing. He's done repented, and you know what I mean. You gotta kind of guide your brothers and sisters, kind of help them out a little bit. Hey, man, I know it was like this back then. Maybe we can move like this. We can move like that. So, You know, the Messiah, man, he was breaking this thing down, you know, wise teacher, the wisest teacher. He's teaching us how to love one another and how to handle ourselves. If you can, Mahar, can you bring out that Matthew 6 and 12 in NLT? Bible Kashaw?
Con. The book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
And forgive us our sins as we have forgiven those who sin against us.
You see that? And this is the Lord's Prayer, man. But we broke it down in the NLT because I believe in the KJV it says forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors, right? But the NLT says, and forgive us our sins as we forgiven those who sinned against us, right? Just like I was going into, you know, we ask, we repent, right? We're going through the atonement. We asking the Lord to forgive us. We got to try to walk in those footsteps and try to be perfect like the Messiah told us, man, right? You never know when a brother has a change of heart. Brother might be, you know, moving in a different spirit. We got to be open, man, to be able to forgive. You know what I mean? Because we're asking forgiveness. We got to be able to try to forgive in that same level. You see what I'm saying? And this is how we'll build our nation up. Right? This is how we'll rise up, right, and start moving in the ways of the Messiah, man. It's not. It's sometimes it's a little. There's a little tactics to it, and sometimes it feels like, you know what I mean. It's a little bit of a feat to do that, but these are the commandments, man. These are what the Lord told us to do, man. Right? We can't hold no grudges. We got to learn how to forgive our brothers for sinning against us, just as the Lord has forgiven our sins. You see that? You got something, King?
Oh, I was gonna address this question in the comments, but I could just type it out. It's all good. Keep going, King. Salakia.
Con. Yeah, man. We just trying to build up our people and trying to teach our people, man, how to deal with each other, man. Right? Like I said earlier, we got the nations against us, right? We got our peoples dealing in curses, right? We got poverty, losing our heritage, our nationality. This is just, you know, just trying to break it down to a simple stance where everybody understands it, man. We just got to come back to loving one another. You see that a lot of times in our history, we've had strife and contention with each other, and it's time to try to get out of that spirit, man. Try to get into that loving spirit, right? Like I said earlier, Christ was given to us as an example, right? Mahar, can you bring up 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21? Bible Kashaw?
You said 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21.
Khan and Kazak, can you is Kazak still on here? Yeah, Khan. Can you pull up Numbers chapter 12 and we'll start at the top? Go ahead and read yours first, Mahar.
Khan, actually, Salakia, let me go ahead and address this, because this will actually play in perfectly to the lesson, right? This will actually play in damn near look, let's go over it. He says, Shalom again, brethren. Do you brothers do the lunar Sabbath? Because I got some questions on it. Now, us at Yahawah's camp, right? Some brothers do the lunar Sabbath, right? Some brothers do the crescent. Some brothers do the dark moon. But it doesn't stop us from loving each other, right? And I want to bring up this precept. It's in Colossians 2:16. It says, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days, right? So, you know, Israel is always going to have differences, right? That's why we got to wait for the Messiah to come back, and he will set everything right, right? But either way, we are still going to have love for our brothers, right? The fact that they're still keeping a Sabbath day, right? That puts them 10 steps ahead of the world, so to speak, right? You know, the Lord said, come out of her, my people, right? That ye be not partakers of her sins, right? So to answer the question, I guess that pretty much answers the question, right? But back on topic, let me get this 1 Peter. You said 2:21, right?
Come.
It says, for even hereunto ye were called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
Khan, you see that? Like I said, man, Christ was given to us an example, man. right? Christ showed us how to walk perfectly, right? We teach this all the time on the street corner, man. While we're out there teaching, man, right? We, the Christians, so-called Christians, they say, well, nobody can live perfectly. Yet we were given Christ as an example, right? If you would follow his ways and his ministry, he taught you how to walk perfectly. Now we have an example of somebody who walked perfectly, so we can study his ways, study his ministry, and try to perfect the way he walked. You see what I'm saying? He gave us a commandment, right, to walk perfectly. Christ was our example, our big brother Christ, right, the King of Israel. He was giving us our example how to walk and how to and it says that ye should follow his steps. You see that? So he was the example, man. He was the way that we're supposed to move, right? Read that 22, beloved.
Come. It says, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Right, man. And that's one of the big topics of the lesson, man. Using our tongue, man, right? Because like I say, man, we a lot of times, man, we cut each other down, right? We find flaws in one another, gossiping, backbiting, murmuring about one another. We're gonna go into this number 12, man. This was the perfect example of how our brothers and sisters in Israel wanted to put the mouth on each other, man. We got to learn how to function, man. How to move in the ways of the Messiah. The scripture says he had no guile in his mouth, right? That was no deception, no lies, no cheating, no just bad mouthing each other. You see that? No talking down to each other. You see that? And this is what we have to start perfecting, man. This is the path and the righteousness that we need to follow, man. Kazak, can you pull out that Numbers chapter 12 and start at verse 1? Okay.
God.
All praise to the Most High, man.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman.
Right. So we know the story of Moses, right? He's the one that led us out of Egypt. And he was the leader of our people, man, right? He was the one that the Lord chose to guide our people out of the land. And the brother took on a heathen wife. He took on a woman of a different nation, right? But this is the way of the Lord. This is Moses, right? Like the law tells us not to deal with these other nations, right? But this is the path Moses led. You see that? Moses had all these things up against him. He had all these responsibilities and all these duties that he had to follow. But let's see how the Most High dealt with him after they went and did what they did against their brother Moses. Keep reading on that.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it.
You see that? Because the Lord was dealing with Miriam and the Lord was dealing with Aaron, man, right? These were the leaders of our nation at that time, right? He was using them as a vessel to guide our people and to use our people, right? These were prophets and prophetesses to guide our people, right? So they're like, isn't the Lord dealing with us also, right? I know Moses is like the leader, but isn't the Most High dealing with us? You see that? Keep reading.
Verse 3. Now the man Moses was very meek, above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
Right. Meek is a humble brother, man. Moses was a humble brother. The responsibility that this brother had, and the scripture says he was the most meekest person upon the face of the earth. And his brother brought us out of Egypt, man. You see how the Lord works, how he takes something very humble and puts that kind of responsibility and this kind of task on him. You see that? He didn't choose no super mighty brother. He used a brother that was meek, a humble brother. You see what I'm saying? This is going into how humble Moses was. You see what I'm saying? Keep reading on that.
Verse 4. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth.
Keep reading, King.
Verse 6. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house.
Keep reading.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore, then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
You see that? And the Lord's asking him, he's like, you weren't, I'm dealing with Moses face to face, right? Moses is coming up on a mountain, right? He was like the mediator at that time for Israel, right? He was going to destroy, when they made that golden calf, man, they were going to destroy all the Israelites, man, right? But Moses is coming to the Lord. He's talking to the Lord, and he's like the mediator in between Israel and the Lord at that time, man. He's like, man, these are your chosen people. You chose these people, right? The people are going to say you brought them out of Egypt just to destroy them. You see what I'm saying? He kind of had to talk with the Lord on the behalf of the Israelites, man, because he was going to wipe them all out and just keep the Levites. You see that? So he's asking, he says, wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses, right? So I brought this out, man, to say, man, we have to be careful who we're speaking up against, right? We have to be careful of who we're putting that bad mouth on, man. You might be putting your mouth up on the Lord's anointed. You know what I mean? Isn't that what David said about Saul, right? David wouldn't cross Saul, right? You know that? And all Saul did to try to take David out, David had he had that wisdom. He was like, man, I can't come up against the Lord's anointed, right? And this is what you're seeing Miriam and Aaron do, man. He's coming up against, backbiting, murmuring, had things to say about our forefather Moses. You see that? Keep reading on that, King.
This is Numbers 12 and verse 9. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed.
Right.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
Right, and that's all we're gonna read on that. But you see, man, they got to themselves and they started murmuring and backbiting and gossiping about Moses, right? Even though he had took a woman of a different nation, and the Lord's like, wait a minute, this is my servant right here. Like, how you gonna come up against this man? How you gonna all the things he's doing for y'all? You know what I mean? Or how he's guided y'all, and I put him in this position, right? I chose him out of all the Israelites. The Lord could have chose anybody, but it's just an example, man, how we had to just be careful what we say and who we put our mouth to, man. Because the Lord, man, they said that the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, man. Right. So this is like Yahshua was bringing out earlier. You don't want to stir the Lord to no wrath. You know what I mean? You don't, like the scripture says, I believe in Ephesians, right? You don't know if that's an angel that you're dealing with. You might be dealing with an angel, and you might be putting a mouth on them or walking in some kind of contention or some kind of strife or bad mouthing an angel, man. So we have to be careful. We have to choose our words wisely, man, right? We have to show some mercy and some compassion. And like they were saying in Proverbs, man, knowing what to say, right? Meditating on these precepts and understanding what we should say and what we shouldn't say, man, right? How we should deal with our people, man, right? He gave the woman leprosy just from murmuring up against Moses, man. And this is a good example of how we should kind of act, man, right? Because, you got a lot of times in our nation, man, we got our people coming up against, people. You'll hear people talking bad about this one, talk about bad about that one. You read this Numbers 12 and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I got to check my spirit, man. I shouldn't be going off like that. You know what I mean? You got to be careful when you're dealing with the Lord's anointed, man. Seriously, like, Really be wise in this thing, Israel, because you don't want to stir up the Lord's wrath and kindle His wrath against you. You know what I mean? It's a crazy thing when you're dealing with the Lord. It's best to just fear the Most High, man, and walk in these commandments, and watch how we put our tongue on each other, man. But Khan, I'm gonna get close to wrapping it up, man. We're almost at the 2-hour point. Yeah, I just wanted to go into like I was saying, Moses, man, he was kind of like the elder of our people at that time. He was kind of like the people guiding our people. And as we're going into loving one another, man, I just wanted to touch on like the men that guide our nation now, right? Like we have elders in this thing. We have leaders, right? Like the brother says all the time, everybody's not meant to lead, but the men that are meant to lead, like Moses, we have to just, show some honor to them. We have to keep this in a proper perspective and realize how we're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? We have brothers that came before us that paved the way for us all, right? Brothers been doing this work 30, 40 years, right? Brothers having the ministry, going out there teaching. That's another thing of loving our nation, man. A lot of times with our people, brothers start getting some age on them. You know what I mean? Brothers start forgetting about them. Brother, he a little older than us. He ain't, maybe he ain't functioning the way he used to or whatever it may be. Brothers start wanting to put the bad mouth on them. We got to start showing some love, some honor, and some respect for our elders, man. You know what I mean? Like whether it be your parents, whether it be a brother that's guiding you, you know what I mean? Like we really got to get back to that, man. You know what I mean? That honoring our people and honoring our elders, man, because these people, whether it be your mother, your father, the elder in your congregation, they paved the way for you to be able to walk the way you're doing now, to be able to do what you're doing now, right? The Lord chose these people to help guide everybody. It's kind of like Moses with the Israelites. These are the Lord's anointed. So we had to kind of, be wise in how we move with this thing. Can somebody give me, Kazak, can you give me Proverbs chapter 11, verse 14? And Mahar, can you give me 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 17? And I'm going to get ready to close it up. All praise to the Most High.
Gone.
Hey, Shalom, Salathia, King. Before those your last two you going into?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much, yeah. Bring it out, King. Bring it out
real quick.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, one of y'all brothers, can y'all grab Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 real quick? Salathia.
Gone. Wisdom of Solomon 6, Cap?
Khan.
From the top?
That's right, my brother.
Gone. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, from the top. Hear, therefore, O ye kings.
So stop right there real quick. This brother is bringing out a masterful lesson to show forth the beautiful works of the Hamashiach Yahawashi and the brotherhood of the nation of Israel, and how we should walk and treat one another, right? So this message is to kings, right? Because we're all set to do this work as kings and rulers of the earth in the last days, right? So you should be heeding this message if you picking this word up in the last days, right? But go ahead, brother.
Come. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth.
Right, because we come to this knowledge to be judges of the ends of this earth, right? We're going to have power to judge, angels, those messengers of the Hamashiach and Yahweh. You understand? Go ahead.
Come, verse 2. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations.
Go ahead.
For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works.
So understand that, right? The freedom, the power, all of the glory, the mercy, the grace, everything that's contained within these holy tablets, right? That we receive when we come to the fullness, right? Of the works that we must commit ourselves to, right? All of these things the Most High will try, right? Rather good or bad. You understand? So you better make sure that your election is sure. And the works that you're doing is according to the works of the Hamashiach, not according to your own self gain and your own personal stance. Because a lot of these, brothers are doing things according to their personal ways and their personal stance, right? So we gotta understand that we got somebody that's higher than us, that put us in certain positions, that's gonna try our works, right? Go ahead.
Con. And sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels.
And search out your counsels, right? So we're counselors. You understand? When we bring these scriptures to people and then people come up and have answers, and even on your debates and even on your exposing, right? Because we got a lot of exposing going on. Everybody want to expose something, and talk about a brother. This brother said this in this video. Let me bring it out. Let me do a 2-hour video on this, right? Those are your counsels. Those are your works. That's part of your ministry, right? So if that's the fruit of your ministry, that's what you're bringing into the work in the last days. Those people that to be swift to run to mischief, not to the works of the Lord, right? Not to the trueness and the loyalty of the brotherhood, but to share folly and madness, jokes, tearing down people, no building, no love, right? Of the brotherhood. Go ahead.
Con. Verse 4. Because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright.
And if you see that, right, you got a lot of people that are making videos that are not judging all right. Nobody's making all these videos about these brothers that's making all these videos about other brothers. Or that got all of these words and works for other people. Who's putting your business out on Front Street?
Con.
Right? Who's rolling up on your camp?
It's
You
like
see
an endless cycle.
it is an endless, fruitless cycle, that needs to cease, man, because soon brothers don't know this war will be knocking on your door. And if you don't have a care for that brother down the street that have the same ministry in the works of the Hamashiach, right? Then you're gonna find yourself in a pitiful case if you can't depend on your brother, right? If I can't go down the street, if I got peanut butter and jelly and get bread from my brother, if I ain't got it, then we in a pitiful case, man. Right? But go ahead.
Con. Because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law.
Nor kept the law. And we got brother, we're not keeping the law accordingly. Not in dietary, not in moral sense, right? Not in ceremonial like we say we do. You see that? So our perfection come with the fire and everything we got to go through. You see that? So you must start to put on the perfection of just simply keeping the law instead of just simply trying to put daggers on your brother, right? Like the brother's going into here, man, right? But go ahead.
Nor walked after the counsel of the Most High.
Go ahead.
Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you.
Mm-hmm.
For a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places.
So let that sink in to those that have, leadership roles and camps and everybody that put themselves up in high places, right? With your judgments, with your counsel, with your work, right? Your what ain't being seen, the Most High, you understand, is going to mark those that are in high places, right? That are not doing things according to the spirit, to the true spirit, to seal those souls that will follow the true mission, right? That verse 6, the last verse I want. And then verse 18.
Come. This is verse 6. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented.
Hey, let that sink in, man. It's going to be mighty men, man. That's going to be tormented, man. Heavenly, right? But go ahead, verse 18.
Come. This is Wisdom of Solomon 6, jumping to 18. And love is the keeping of her laws.
Understand that, man. That's the love that we supposed to operate in, the keeping of the law. So if you got anybody that can't operate and show you the laws of the Most High, they want to nitpick the law that they want to show, rather in Christianity, rather in any denomination. Understand this: we trying to follow all of the laws that's contained of in the Torah, right? Any bits and pieces we can gather through the Tanakh, right? And any bits and pieces we can gather through the Apocryphas and all of the gospel scriptures that we can, gain perfection in the last days, man. Just let us keep the law. Let y'all do your works. Everybody do their own works and try to seal servants in the last days, man, so we can rule the Most High's kingdom, right? And the power and grace under the Hamashiach Yahawah, man. And beautiful lesson, man. All praise to the Most High.
All praise.
All praise to the Most High, man. That was some beautiful teaching by the captain, man. That was like the cherry on top, man. I feel like we can go ahead and end it right now, man. The brother summed it up, man, with some great precepts, man. And that's the spirit of the lesson, man. You know what I mean? We trying to follow the law, and inside the law, man, we gotta love one another, right? And that's what we trying to do, man. We ain't trying to be pointing the finger at nobody. We trying to do our thing, and we trying to wake up the lost sheep. We trying to seal the elect, right? We trying to bring the 144,000 together, right? We just out here trying to do the Lord's work, man, right? We trying to, like you said, man, we just trying to walk in the steps of the Messiah, man. You know what I mean? We ain't looking for no strife or no contention, right? We're not about that over here on this side, right? We want to see our people rise up. Right. That's why we out here teaching in sincerity, right, and in truth and in righteousness, man. And that's what we about in Yahawah's camp, man. But that was beautiful, man. All praise to the Most High, man. I'm gonna finish it up with 2 more precepts, and we're gonna close it up. We're approaching that 2-hour mark. And who do I have holding that Proverbs 11 and 14?
I got you, Ken.
Come on, bring that up.
The book of Proverbs. Slakia. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
Come on. And like I said, man, like I was going into a little earlier, that's what we got the elders for, man, right? It's like Moses guiding us out of Egypt, right? We got elders, we got captains, officers, right? They all here, man, to kind of guide the flock, right? It says where no counsel is, the people fall, right? This is what our people is for, man. Right? Our brothers are aged in the scriptures. Brothers been studying, right? That's what all this is about, man. So we can teach, right? The brothers that's just coming into this thing, right? The elders, you got brothers that's been learning this thing for years, man, 30 years, 40 years. Brothers been in it 10, 20 years. Right. That's what it's about, man. That's part of keeping these commandments and loving one another, following these commandments, man. Right. So we can get that counsel, man. Right. That's what we've always had rank in Israel, officers, judges, right. Elders. Right. We had the Messiah. Right. That's what it's about, man. You got issues, man. Go to your people, man. Get some counsel about it. Right. That's what we're for, man. That's what we're here for, man.
Hey,
Right.
Slocket, King, that the NLT hits even harder.
Hit it. Bring it out, King. Bring it out.
Let's see. Let's go to it real quick. It says, without wise leadership, a nation falls. There is safety in many advisors. Like, it's literally telling you an entire nation will fall. That's crazy.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, man. And that goes along with the spirit of the lesson, man. You know what I mean? That's what we got men in this thing for, man, right? We got men above the congregation, right? We got men that'll help guiding the sheep, man. It's like the herdsman with the flock, man, right? We got the Messiah, we got the Most High, we got the Messiah, and we got the men, man, that have paved the way for us, right? We got men help guiding and teaching, man. You know what I mean? That's what it's for, man. That's what this brotherly love lesson is about, man. This love of the nation of Israel, man. You know, you going through something, don't be scared to reach out to your brothers, man. You know what I mean? That's what brothers is for, man. You know what I mean? I had a lot of brothers in this thing lift me up, guide me, teach me things. You know what I mean? Bring out things in me that I didn't even think I had myself. Brothers has been big in encouraging me and lifting up my spirits. And and teaching me things. So, you know what I mean? That's why I'm just passing this message on to everybody else, man. We got to be grateful for these things and really dwell in that brotherly love spirit, man, because it's a beautiful thing. This is how we get back, man, to these commandments, man. This is how we get back to that righteous remnant. You know what I mean? We're the Lord's people, man. You're looking at that righteous remnant, right? That chosen generation. We gotta be faithful and be true in this thing, beloved. I'm gonna close it up, man. Give me one more precept. Can you give me that 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 17?
Con.
Okay, so
It says, "Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine."
yeah, man, that's beautiful, man. You know, you got the elders in this thing, been teaching for a long time. Brothers still diligent with it. You know what I mean? Brothers is passing out jewels and knowledge and precepts every chance they get. So along with brotherly love and family love, loving the nation, man, we always got to remember, man, the big point I wanted to bring out is to always remember the brothers the brothers and the sisters, man, you know, the sisters doing their thing, man, you know, holding the family down, holding the house down, you know, help building up the nation, you know what I mean, raising up another generation of Israelites. And you got the elders out here doing the work, helping bring the nation up. You know what I mean? The Lord's given them a job and a mission to do, right? So we know we just got to have double honors for the elders, man. I mean, brothers are sincere in this thing, and helping lead and guide the flock, man. Help guide the sheep, man. So that's pretty much all I had, man. Just wanted to bring out a lesson about brotherly love and sum it all up, man, with loving our people. Yeah, man, Lord willing, man, you know, the events happening and you know what I mean, we start getting into this thing, Israel, to where we ain't got to be in this captivity forever, man. You know, this oppression and the things we're going through, man. You know, we got to stay strong in this thing, stay sincere, and follow these commandments, man. But that's pretty much all I got. You know, I love everybody. Shalom to the nation. If brothers got anything they want to bring out, you know, the floor is yours. All praises.
Oh, I got something.
Hey, Ma, just put the Hebrews 13:1 up there real quick.
Con. It says, "Let brotherly love continue."
Man, self-explanatory, man.
All praise.
If you need a breakdown on that, man, you know,
You might need to seek mental help. Hey, the only thing I got to go out to is a nice smooth track. And I guess we say shalom to the family.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shout out to brother Kazak, man. All praise to the Most High.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Dang.
You want to hate on your brothers and sisters, right? You don't love us. We out here teaching you love. We're out here teaching love. Give me 1 John 5:3. We're out here teaching the love of God. And that's the Bible. That's following the commandments. You see that? Why don't you treat your enemy like that? Why don't you treat your enemy like that?
Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we heard
What he
are
say?
you and me.
Let brotherly love continue, cause we no equal. This ain't no sequel, we God's people.